This is CBC Nova Scotia News.
Tonight, a judge tells a Nova Scotia man accused of historical sexual abuse to get a lawyer amid concerns over case delays.
Demanding answers, a Halifax mother says she was terrified after the school bus carrying her twin girls was 4.5 hours late.
And some Cape Bretoners are pushing back after the province takes a pass on the Nova Scotia Miners Museum.
Scattered showers and a few rumbles of thunder this evening into the early overnight, but that front moves out and we're clearing nicely for Wednesday. Your full forecast is coming up.
Good evening. A Pictou County man whose children say he's been delaying the sexual abuse case they brought against him has been told by a judge the case must move forward. Douglas Guthrow Sr., who is now 86, has also been advised to hire a lawyer after appearing several times without one.
His children had the publication ban removed on their identities so they can share their experiences. As Gareth Hampshire reports, the Crown is keen to make sure the case moves properly through the court system.
This was Douglas Guthrow Sr.'s 7th court appearance since being charged in April with 16 counts of historical sexual violence. He spoke to the judge without a lawyer, saying he tried to get one but had not received calls back. Guthrow was not ready to proceed, so the judge set his trial election before a judge and jury in Nova Scotia Supreme Court. His son and 2 daughters, who are now in their 50s, have made the allegations against him.
It makes me feel better that the judge wants to move it ahead, that they did do that.
The offences being alleged by Doug Guthrow Jr. and his sisters date back decades. Since coming forward, they've been frustrated by the speed of the court process.
We know he can do it. He already had a lawyer that counseled him and stuff, and he could have retained him at the time and kept going forward.
The Crown has also raised concerns. In court, the prosecutor said it was time to fish or cut bait.
Anytime a matter gets delayed, it's potential. Not only does it prejudice an accused person and their Section 11B charter rights, but it also prejudices the victims in the matter in terms of they've had the strength and courage to come forward.
The accused, Guthrow Sr., said he was having trouble hearing what was going on in court, and the person who identified herself as his home carer told the judge he's showing signs of dementia. His children and the Crown say they've seen no evidence of that. His daughters also say his claim one of them took money from his account, making it hard for him to afford a lawyer, is not true. No one has taken anything that belongs to Douglas Guthrow Sr., said a statement issued by Susan Farrell and Sherry Colbert. They now live out of the province, but Guthrow Jr. is getting support when he goes to court from his friends and wife and 3 children.
Pretty much any time, like any court date has been coming up, I've always been there. Just any time in general, if he ever needs anything, then I'm always there for him.
Doug Guthrow Jr. is making moves to change his last name, so there's no confusion with his father anymore. And as painful as he's finding it, we'll be in court for every appearance. Gareth Hampshire, CBC News, Pictou.
Many parents of students at a French school in Halifax are still outraged tonight after their children failed to arrive home on their school bus yesterday. As we hear from the CBC's Paul Palmater, it took 4.5 hours and a call to police before the kids finally made it home.
7 school buses each day transport students from École Marymond in Halifax. But yesterday was a parent's worst nightmare, as one of the buses failed to deliver kids to their homes. First, there was an email saying it would be 25 minutes late, then a voicemail saying it would be an hour late. But still, the bus did not show, and parents were beginning to panic.
I was terrified, not knowing where my kids are at the moment. Is the bus broke down, or is there any accident? It was just went through the hell.
It was 6:20 when a panicked Daigle called police, and she wasn't the only one. She got a call back saying the police had found the bus, and it was almost 7:40, with darkness approaching, that she was finally reunited with her twin girls.
Why this is happening, The school is not that far. It's like only 7 minutes driving from my house. But I was relieved to see my kids and thanks to the police.
Daigle says the children were shouting at the driver that they were going the wrong way. One of her daughters was crying because she needed to pee but wasn't allowed off the bus. She says police told her that the original bus driver got lost and another bus driver had to come take over.
This is very unacceptable, and I hope this is not happening again.
The company that operates the buses that serve the school, Transco, declined an interview request. In a statement, they said they regret the inconvenience and concern the situation has caused and will work with the French school board to ensure it doesn't happen again. The board issued an apology through a statement, saying it cannot imagine the worry and stress the situation caused. Michelle Collette, the head of the board, wrote that its communication with Transco did not meet its expectations, and the board will be taking a number of steps to review the situation, including identifying gaps in communication.
This is a really traumatic experience that I had. Without trust to the school and to the bus, there is, nothing we can depending on, our children's well-beings, depending on them.
Paul Palmeter, CBC News, Halifax.
Support is pouring in for the Cape Breton Miners Museum. On Friday, we aired a story detailing the province's rejection of the museum's bid to become part of the Nova Scotia museum family. As Kyle Moore tells us, more people are angry tonight about the museum being snubbed.
Joanne Shepard stands in the park she fought for years to have built in memory of the 12 men killed in a coal mine explosion. She was only 17 when her father, Fabian Young, was killed in number 26 Colliery. She's angry the province isn't doing more to support the Miners Museum in Glace Bay.
It's like a slap in the face to those men. It's a slap in the face to their families. It's a slap in the face to the communities.
The province says the museum needs to tell more of a provincial story to be included in its museum network, but it did not provide details on how to do that.
Disappointed, saddened, angry. I can't believe that we're standing here today talking about the fact that this museum might be closed.
This place is a remarkable facility and it's got to be supported.
Darren Brookschwager served on the museum board for several years and says there's always been financial issues.
This talk of it being just a local museum isn't correct. It's totally wrong. I think it's time for the Premier really to come to town, to sit down with our board and our director, Mary Pat, and have a conversation about exactly what that museum is.
The province says since 2022, the Glace Bay Museum has received more than $900,000 to improve visitor experience and was given more than $64,000 to support operations. Mary Pat Bumbercat says they get little operational funding compared to museums on the provincial list.
What happens next is in the community's hands. It's, I've done what I can do. The board has done what it can do. We're hoping that the community will get together and let the people in power know how important this is to them.
There has been an outpouring of support for the museum over the last couple of days. Bumbercat says she's heard from people across the country.
I think it means that this museum is of value to our community. And when I talk about community, I'm talking about beyond Glace Bay.
The province said in an email that the Nova Scotia Museum family is not looking to expand. Kyle Moore, CBC News, Glace Bay.
Yeah, so a few showers out there tonight.
Not exactly a beach day today.
No. Temperatures, not bad for this time of year, but yeah, a few showers on the go. Really, though, turning a little more summer-like over the next few days as temperatures are going to be on the rise. High temperatures Tuesday, you can see we were in the 17 to 21 range for most of us. A couple of 22s on the board. Antigonish and actually Pictou County there at 23 degrees. Similar story for Wednesday with a bit of a northwest flow. As you can see, temperatures once again are going to be right around the 20-degree mark. Will be a little bit cooler the Tri-County area down into the Shelburne area. Across Cape Breton, temperatures, again, 18 to 20 degrees for the most part. This will be our isolated chance of showers across the province on Wednesday. Will mainly be just Cape Breton and maybe Antigonish County as we see those showers for Tuesday evening into the overnight clearing out. There's Wednesday. Note the isolated showers still lingering for Cape Breton, perhaps clipping Antigonish County, but overall it is going to be a lovely afternoon and a lovely day overall. Lots of sunshine shaping up for Thursday and more sunshine into the 7-day forecast. A really nice September stretch coming up. Your full forecast coming up.
Yeah, we'll take it. Thanks, Ryan.
Beautiful weather. Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
The Nova Scotia government tabled an omnibus bill today at Province House that makes changes to 7 different pieces of legislation. Michael Gorman joins us now to walk us through some of the changes. So, Michael, there's a lot of territory covered in this bill. Can you outline some of that?
Sure, Amy. As you say, there is a lot going on here. There are changes related to the regulation of offshore wind and leases for tidal energy projects. The government is stiffening the rules around burn bans during wildfire season, and it's changing the way that aquaculture projects for shellfish and marine plants are regulated and approved. There's a provision that gives Nova Scotia companies favorable treatment when they're bidding on government contracts, and a piece of housekeeping legislation with changes related to harness racing in the maritime provinces.
All right, well, you don't see omnibus bills used at Province House very often unless it's for financial matters. So why is the government doing it in this case?
Well, Amy, that depends on who you ask. Natural Resources Minister Tory Rushton is the cabinet minister who tabled the bill today. During a bill briefing, he told reporters that the omnibus approach is appropriate in this case because all of the legislation affected is sort of linked in a thematic kind of way.
It's basically to put everything together to say we are listening to Nova Scotians and we're advancing things that Nova Scotians have asked us to advance. Still, the debate's going to happen. The questions are going to get answered, whether it's in one theme package or individual bills. There'll still be questions on each individual piece, and there'll be answers.
Perhaps not surprisingly, opposition leaders don't share Rushton's view.
I don't think it's about being more efficient. I think it's about putting things in a bill that can potentially overwhelm people with information, and that means that the public, the media, the opposition parties can miss something. I don't know if that's the case with this bill. We'll certainly be going through it to see, but that certainly has happened in the past with this government.
The whole reason that we're here is to make sure that that legislation is in the best interest of Nova Scotians, that we can have robust debate, that we can understand it, and we really are not able to do much of that with the way that this government runs this place.
This is the third bill the Tories have tabled during this fall session that affects multiple pieces of legislation. Whether opposition members or anyone else thinks that's the appropriate way to go, clearly the government has decided it's an approach it likes. Amy?
All right, thank you for that, Michael. That is the CBC's Michael Gorman at Province House. RCMP in southwest Nova Scotia are investigating a possible arson after a building in Bellevaux Cove was partly destroyed by fire last week. Police and firefighters were called just before 4 in the morning on Friday to a local outdoor gathering place that's owned by the municipality. Police said in a release that they are investigating whether it's connected to another fire at the site that happened in August.
A historic Black community in Halifax officially has a new boundary. Today, Halifax Council finalized a perimeter for Beachville that better reflects its original size. Beachville was first settled by Black refugees who escaped slavery in the United States during the War of 1812, but most people weren't granted ownership of their properties, which led to some unclear land titles. Beachville also shrank over the decades due to land expropriation and development. Now, the 500-acre area will grow to about 3,500 acres.
It's bigger than Beachville as well. This is for our larger Black communities, our historically Black communities within Nova Scotia, that this is one of many stories that we have historically known of, but you're going to see more of these boundaries go back to what they should be. We're hoping.
Residents of Beachville worked with city staff for 3 years to come up with new boundaries. They're trying to better reflect the historical size of Beachville and build trust between Halifax and the African Nova Scotian community.
Dalhousie Legal Aid is sounding the alarm on the latest tenancy changes in Nova Scotia. Last week, the province announced several changes for renters. It extended the rent cap until the end of December 2027. The province also tightened timelines for evictions.
It's going to make it a lot easier for landlords to evict tenants. It's about half the time. And frankly, it's not the right time to do something like that. We have a homelessness crisis. We don't have enough rental stock. And if tenants get evicted from one unit, they're going to be paying much more if they have to go back onto the rental market.
And I'll talk to Mark Culligan, a community legal worker with the Dalhousie Legal Aid, about the impact fixed-term leases are having on the rental market. That's our newsmaker just after 6:30. Well, a family of osprey in Halifax have a new place to call home. Last month, their nest on the top of an electrical pole was burned in a fire.
Today, though, crews got together. They installed a new pole for Nova Scotia's provincial bird roost. Brett Ruskin has that story.
You can see this new pole installed here. The existing pole is right here. This was the pole, the power pole that the ospreys had originally built their nest on, using debris and twigs and branches that they had found in the area. This is in a parking lot of a hospital. Many of the healthcare staff like to come out and watch, and that's how we have images of, unfortunately, when the debris and twigs made contact with the power pole equipment and a fire started. We know that 3 of the birds survived the fire. 1 of the birds did not. And we heard from Paul Easton. He's with Nova Scotia Health. Here's what he had to say about what the staff thought of the birds here.
On break times and that, lunchtime, they'd come out and watch them. They'd listen to them. Lots of people are doing photographs and videos of the birds coming and going. They're interesting. They're bringing fish in and out for their young all summer long. So it just created a diversion from the regular workday.
And so a coordinated effort to create a new home for the ospreys with this pole here. So Nova Scotia Power working with Nova Scotia Health, working with the Department of Wildlife as well to create this new platform for a nest on a pole that's taller and with no power equipment attached to it whatsoever. Here is what Nova Scotia Power had to say about their program to assist the ospreys.
So we want to make sure the nesting locations are safe for the birds, and if there's any risk to the birds or the nests themselves, then that gives us an opportunity to try and improve the situation. We want to make sure that our infrastructure is intact and in good condition to maintain our safe and reliable energy. And then also we want to make sure it's safe for our power line technician crews.
A new home for this family of ospreys, Nova Scotia's provincial bird, so that hopefully next year they'll have a safer spot to return to. Brett Ruskin, CBC News, Halifax.
And Ryan is back next with the full weather forecast. We'll see you in just a few minutes. Yeah, so it sounds like we're in for another nice stretch, right?
Right to the weekend, maybe.
Yeah, and through the weekend. Wouldn't that be something?
That's an improvement.
Yeah,
Take that.
so many
Take it.
times we have a nice week and then the weekend's yeah, I think we'll cloud up a little bit on Saturday, but right now it is looking favorable for sure, a favorable weekend. Have a look first and foremost at our webcam video from this evening. And you can see maybe frozen in time there. Yeah, it looks like it is, but beautiful shot nonetheless from Peggy's Cove. And yeah, you can see it's a couple of clouds out there for sure over the last little bit, thanks to those showers which have been working through the area. And yeah, we'll be continuing to track those showers as we move through the next couple of hours. And hopefully, there we go. It is going to cooperate. I was worried my weather system was frozen there, but nope, just the video. Now, as you can see, we've got temperatures kind of in the high teens for the most part. Couple of spots, back rows at 14, Western Heads at 16, Westport's at 16, but overall 17 to 20 out there right now. Winds in from the southwest, sustained in the 10, 15, 37 range. Beaver Point sticking out like a sore thumb there. Sydney sustained at 26. Not too gusty, though, once again, for this evening. There are those showers that have been moving through the metro area, back along the South Shore, all the way back, extending down towards Shelburne County right now, and as far northeast as Antigonish County, and a couple of cells there that are bringing some heavier downpours, working their way up towards Antigonish County, Cape Breton getting into the mix this evening. And there is a risk of a thunderstorm with these cells as well, so just remember, when the thunder roars, head indoors. Cold front working through central Canada right now is definitely notable on the map, and we'll show you that in a sec. You can see there is Francine, which is going to be bringing, at the very least, tropical storm force winds, but perhaps Category 1 hurricane strength here, as you can see, possibly gaining strength as we move through the day on Wednesday. Either way, this is going to be dropping a lot of rain and storm surge concerns there for Louisiana and that coastline. So keeping an eye on that situation over the next day or so. That system will move in and then just kind of, rain itself out through the central southern parts of the United States. As you can see here, temperatures quite warm. There's that front I just talked about through central Canada, dividing the September-like temps from the August-like temperatures, really. 27 in Winnipeg, 21 in Thunder Bay, 22 in Toronto, and we are going to get into this air mass here in the coming days. Tonight, we'll see that risk for showers and thunderstorms coming to an end. Temperatures in the high single, low double digits for overnight lows. Couple of pockets here, maybe into the mid single digits. Cape Breton a little milder, 12 to 14 for the most part. There are those showers and thunderstorms coming to an end likely by midnight for Sydney. You'll be hearing those move offshore. And then for tomorrow, looking at a beautiful day, northwest winds rather. Now, in those northwest winds, could see a few isolated showers in through Inverness County. That's the greatest risk, but can't rule out an isolated chance down through Richmond County and also into Antigonish County. Looking at the overall temperatures, 18 to 20 degrees, those northwest winds, 15 gusting to 30. And have a look at the rest of the mainline here, just looking terrific with lots of sunshine on tap, 19 to 21 degrees. Those northwest winds will make it feel certainly September-like, but overall a terrific day. Thursday, back to a bit of a west to southwest flow, temperatures up into the 22 to 23 range. It is going to be lovely indeed. And then as we look at the future tracker timeline, there's that area of high pressure just dominating. Now, this front will sink southward. This is going to be the front we have to keep an eye on that may kick the clouds up a little bit on Saturday. Isolated risk of a shower. A couple of models showing maybe a few isolated showers developing into the afternoon because of that boundary, but overall very quiet. Sunday looks good. And looking August-like for early next week at this point.
Wow.
Or Preston and Amy.
Sounds
old
good
habits.
Sounds good either way.
Yeah.
All right. Thanks, Ryan.
Thank you.
Well, a group of performers who are brand new to Circus are getting ready for center stage. 8 mentees were chosen by Halifax-based Breaking Circus for its new mentorship program.
The CBC dropped by to meet some of them as they prepare for their first performance next month.
Hi, my name is Nitin Nedumparambul. I am a third-year computer science student at Dalhousie University, and I'm training as a Chinese pole artist. It was just something brand new to me. Like, I've never been introduced to anything this exciting and artistic. I saw Breaking Circus conduct a juggling workshop at one of the Dartmouth festivals, and I learned how to juggle, and they like me, I like them, so they told me about the mentorship program.
I think with the mentorship program, it was really about seeing more diversity. I started Circus very late. I didn't really have access early on, so I went the traditional route and got a government job, and then paid for my own circus classes. And so I would just wanted to make the path a little bit easier for artists that are coming from communities of color, maybe underserved communities, LGBTQ and so on, like that don't have access. So it's just to create like a way in.
Like every time I've told somebody new that I'm doing circus, a lot of people don't know too much about it, and they think it's like clowning, like a clown. So I'm like, no, there's so much more to it. So then I show them videos and they're like, whoa, like you're really doing this. Hi, my name is Esther Kisembo. I am a student at St. Mary's University. I am also a dancer. This is probably the hardest thing I've ever done, probably in my life. So I really like the fact that I am growing in different aspects of my life.
You do computer science?
Yep.
Seems very different than like this.
It is very different. It seems like a polar opposite, but I don't know, I think it balances me out quite well. So I can focus on studying, and then I can come here and work on myself physically and mentally.
There's a skill transference, there's parallels in so many different areas. Like the computer science side, it's a very analytical mind. There's the technical side of circus, so there's a parallel there. We have someone who's a breakdancer. There's a parallel right away with the physicality of that.
My name is Nathaniel Natorius Dukes. I am a breaker or a b-boy. I represent floor lovers and style heads, aka Flash Crew. Straps is the discipline that I am working on aside from acro. It is an aerial apparatus where I describe to people it's like seatbelts around your wrists, and basically you hang from the ceiling by your wrists and do all kinds of crazy tricks. After spending so many hours with them and so many hours with the other mentees, we've become quite the little tight-knit unit.
We actually all went as a group to the Montreal Complètement Cirque Festival, and so that was an opportunity for them to take in like 15 or so different circus shows, go see Cirque du Soleil, and then train with the National Circus School coaches, so elite level coaches.
We wanted people to be able to learn so much of what we know, like the back end, making shows, applying for funding, being an artist as a job.
I love seeing the joy. Just the discovery of joy of something that seemed impossible or difficult.
Yeah, it's insane. If someone told me I would be doing this a year ago, I would have told them they were crazy. I didn't realize how many limits and expectations that I had self-imposed on myself. But after doing something like this, I realized that I'm capable of much more. So yeah, it's given me a different perspective of life.
Coming up, deadly airstrike in southern Gaza. Israel strikes tent encampment in a designated humanitarian zone.
And we'll hear from Dalhousie Legal Aid about how recent changes will affect renters in the province. That is our newsmaker coming up after the break. Nova Scotia has announced several changes that will affect renters in this province. Last week, the provincial government announced it will extend the rent cap until the end of December 2027. It also shortened the eviction process to start 3 days after a tenant is behind on rent. I'm joined now by Mark Culligan, a community legal worker with Dalhousie Legal Aid. So the rent cap has been extended, meaning rent can only go up 5% a year on periodic leases. I'm wondering, what kind of impact do you think that will have?
Well, I think what that's going to lead to are increases for tenants that they can't afford. The rent cap is going to go up by 5% until 2027, and that's way above the projected rate of inflation and what every other province is doing.
Now, that cap doesn't apply to fixed-term leases. How big an issue are those kinds of leases with the folks that you've been helping?
Yeah, so it officially applies to fixed-term leases, but the big problem is that it's very easy for landlords to get around by simply allowing fixed-term leases to end and bringing in new tenants. For many of the tenants I'm working with, this is an enormous problem because it means that they have to leave the place where they're living, their home, at the end of each year. And especially we see a lot of students who are just moving around town because landlords are churning the apartments every year.
So you're seeing an increase in this type of situation?
It's become very common since the introduction of rent control, and it's becoming the new normal.
Well, what would need to be done to close that loophole?
So it's really easy. Other provinces do it. In British Columbia, for example, at the end of one fixed-term lease, a tenant can enter into a new fixed-term lease or a month-to-month lease unless the landlord has a good reason for repossessing the unit, namely that they're moving back in. And that's a great use of a fixed-term lease. And any other province that has rent control, with the possible exception of Manitoba, does that. They have those kinds of restrictions.
But it's not happening here.
No, it's not happening here, and the province knows that's not happening here. And I think what this is a political trade-off. So the province has decided to give the fixed-term lease loophole to landlords. They've decided to give a high rent cap rate to landlords. And they think that the tenants will be okay with it because some tenants will get the benefit of rent cap protection.
Now, the minister in charge of the Residential Tenancies Act says the changes, they balance the rights and obligations of tenants and landlords. You don't see it the same way?
No, that's balderdash. Balancing the rights of tenants and landlords would be to create a modern rent control system, one that's based on the rate of inflation, which is going down. It's around 3% now, and that allows landlords, if they do have real expenses like insurance or property taxes, to ask for an above rate rent increase. That's what a proper rent control system would do, and that's what proper balance looks like.
Now, another change is a tighter timeline to start the eviction process. How much difference will that make in terms of renters coming up with rent that they're behind on?
It's going to make it a lot easier for landlords to evict tenants. It's about half the time. And frankly, it's not the right time to do something like that. We have a homelessness crisis. We don't have enough rental stock. And if tenants get evicted from one unit, they're going to be paying much more if they have to go back onto the rental market.
Well, what do you think will have, what kind of impact do you think it'll have on the homelessness situation?
It's going to lead to more homelessness. If you make it easier and faster to evict people on timelines where it's very difficult to secure legal assistance or to secure financial support, you're going to have more people who are evicted. It's really shocking that this is the move that the province is making at this time.
What would you like to see change?
Well, the first thing I'd like to see is a modern rent control system, a removal of the fixed-term lease loophole, and a modern residential tenancy system that has enforcement powers so that tenants can enforce their rights to repairs and maintenance and to stay in their units.
Now, how busy are you these days?
We've been busy for many years now. It's gotten to the point where we've had to restrict our services, and so we have way more inquiries for help than we can meet each week.
All right, we will leave it there. Mark, thanks very much for your time. We appreciate it.
Thank you.
Coming up, countdown to the presidential debate. The stage is set for tonight's anticipated face-to-face between Donald Trump and Kamala Harris. Welcome back. The former head of Canada's central bank was offering some economic advice to federal Liberals today. Mark Carney has been brought on board as an advisor as the party prepares for the upcoming session of Parliament and the next election.
Now, some think there may be bigger things in store for Carney, but as the CBC's Rafi Boudjikanian reports, the old Bank of Canada boss wasn't talking about that.
For months, Mark Carney has dodged questions about his future with the Liberals. On Tuesday, the former governor of the Banks of Canada and England kicked off his new gig as an economic advisor to the party.
It comes at, in my view, a decisive time for our economy, for our country. You know, the world is becoming a more dangerous and divided place, and at the same time, the global economy is being transformed.
But Carney was less forthcoming on speculation he's seeking the party's leadership or even a seat in the next federal election.
Prime Minister of Canada asks me to do something, I will do it. I will serve to the best of my ability. Secondly, I'm interested. I have some experience in these issues, and I'm interested in helping our country to grow. I'm interested in doing something, not being something.
But votes are weighing heavily on most of the caucus at this retreat. In less than a week, voters in the LaSalle-Lamar-Verdun riding in Montreal will have a new MP, and the typically safe Liberal seat is tied up in a three-way by-election race with the NDP and the Bloc Québécois.
I'm convinced we will win. We know that cost of living is too expensive, that people are frustrated with it. So what do? We do everything to reduce the cost of things and services.
And there are questions about where the party is headed in the next federal election in about a year or sooner.
Mr. Brother?
The Liberals' national campaign director is here in Nanaimo, but he's quitting his job at the end of the month with no replacement announced. Trudeau himself did not speak to the media, leaving that to his deputy prime minister.
I think all of us have heard Canadians have a lot of frustrations. It is so important for us to hear the concerns of Canadians.
Hanging over this retreat, one key difference between the Liberals' marquee speaker today and its leadership. Mark Carney has previously publicly said it's time to move beyond the carbon tax, while the government continues to champion it. Cabinet did not address today what it would do if Carney starts advising them to scrap the levy. Rafi Wujikani on CBC News, Nanaimo, BC.
Canada's immigration minister has revealed that a man arrested on terror charges last week came into the country on a student visa. The minister didn't provide many details, but said the system in place to detect and apprehend such individuals worked.
Let's not be naive. A determined individual can gain access to this country, and that is for the security services inside our country to apprehend this person if they commit a crime or if they're about to commit a crime, and that's exactly what happened.
The 20-year-old was taken into custody in Quebec on charges including attempting to leave Canada to commit an offense for a terrorist group. He's also facing terror charges in the U.S. American officials say he intended to carry out a mass shooting at a Jewish center in New York. The immigration minister said the suspect is a Pakistani national who received a student visa in May of 2023 and arrived in Canada the following month.
The Civil Defense Authority in Gaza says at least 19 people were killed in an overnight Israeli missile strike. Witnesses say there were between 4 and 6 blasts in a designated humanitarian area in southern Gaza. The area was jammed with displaced Palestinians, many living in tents. The search for more victims continues. Israel says it launched the attack against 3 senior Hamas commanders operating out of that area. It says extensive precautions were taken to avoid civilian casualties. It's not known if the Hamas officials were hit.
Democratic nominee Kamala Harris and Republican candidate Donald Trump will face off tonight in Philadelphia, each vying to sway voters in what polls suggest is a razor-tight race. Richard Madden has a preview of the U.S. presidential debate from Washington.
Final preparations are underway in Philadelphia ahead of tonight's historic debate between Vice President Kamala Harris and former President Donald Trump. Polls are suggesting a tightening race, so pressure is on both candidates to perform well and win. Now, Trump's advisors say he'll zero in on economic anxieties and link Harris to unpopular policies under the Biden administration.
He has to focus on what he has focused on primarily throughout the whole campaign trail, talking about bringing down inflation, talking about securing that southern border, and making sure that he holds Kamala's feet to the fire.
Harris advisors say she'll present a positive vision for the country, but expect Trump will launch personal attacks and an onslaught of lies.
Vice President Harris is going to articulate a forward-looking, inclusive agenda to make life better for everyday Americans and create a clear contrast to the chaos, dysfunction, and extremism that Donald Trump will visit upon the American people.
Now, this will be an especially crucial moment for Harris. She's enjoyed a wave of momentum since her ascendancy atop of the ticket last month, but many voters still don't know what she stands for, and Trump has been eagerly trying to define it for them, launching this new attack ad today in battleground states.
Why hasn't she done it?
This undecided voter is among the many who will be listening to Harris very carefully.
This is her chance to get her message out, to get her personality out there, and really to find out what her policies are. She really hasn't, she spoke to the teleprompter the last 15 times I've saw her.
Now, tonight's debate begins at 9 p.m. Eastern Time, and this will also be the first time these bidder rivals will meet in person. Whether they even shake hands at the start of the debate will likely set the tone for the rest of the evening. Richard Madden, CBC News, Washington.
Fraudsters are impersonating legitimate taxis in many parts of the country, buying fake roof signs from online retailers like Amazon. Sophia Harris has more on the scam and attempts to protect passengers.
It's called the taxi scam, and police in several parts of Canada have recently issued alert that the scam is making the rounds in their city. There are several variations of the scam, but they all end the same way. A fraudster impersonating a taxi driver demands that a customer pay with a debit card. During the transaction, the scammer records the card's PIN number, secretly steals the debit card, and hands the customer an identical-looking fake card. In July, Catherine Kazodi of Calgary was a victim of the scam. The day after she took a ride in a fake cab, she discovered nearly $2,000 was missing from her bank account. Her bank later reimbursed her, but she's still rattled by the experience.
It really felt like an invasion of privacy and a violation to be a victim of this scam. I was terrified, I was in shock.
Police and the Canadian Taxi Association say the fraudsters have a helping hand. With the click of a button, they can purchase a generic but official-looking taxi roof sign on e-commerce sites such as Amazon. To help combat the scam, the association has asked Amazon to stop selling the signs. However, the online retail giant has declined, stating that it's perfectly legal to sell the product.
I'm disappointed by their response because I don't think they understand the moral responsibility that they have when it comes to selling something that can lead to either fraud or other serious incidents.
The Taxi Association says it will now explore other avenues, such as lobbying for provincial legislation that regulates the sale of taxi signs. In the meantime, it looks like the best way to stop this scam is to tell people about it, so they can be on guard if a taxi driver insists they pay by debit card. Sophia Harris, CBC News, Toronto.
Fans of the Professional Women's Hockey League now have the name of the team they cheer for in the upcoming season. Last season's champions from the U.S. are now known as the Minnesota Frost. As Sarah Levitt shows us, Canada will have the Victoire de Montréal, Ottawa Charge, and Toronto Scepters.
It's official, the teams have names and logos. Ones the Professional Women's Hockey League says are deeply rooted in the history of the home cities. Minnesota Frost, Toronto Scepters, Ottawa Charge, Victoire de Montréal, New York Sirens, and Boston Fleet.
Appelez for la Victoire de Montréal.
Donning brand new Montreal merch, the name an ode to the city's sporting successes, forward Catherine Dubois says she's absolutely thrilled.
I love the name. The name is very Montreal.
The PWHL had a wildly successful inaugural season, but it was condensed and the teams played without names.
We had the luxury to be able to experience, what fans experienced at games and get sentiments from across the board and really use those to help crystallize this.
One look on social media, though, and it's clear not all are on board with the names. Take the Ottawa Charge, inspired by the city's official motto, Advance, Ottawa en avant. The Ottawa Calgary Flames, one person writes. Another says, so much for buying merch. In Toronto, the league says the new name embodies the city's regal history.
Scepters?
Scepters of Toronto?
It sounds a little weird.
And Montreal?
I kind of like the French name. I don't think I would have chosen Victoire.
Many, though, are excited about connecting with their team more deeply.
I'm excited to keep watching them, keep supporting them.
And last season was bigger and better than I think we could have ever thought. And to see the fans that came out to all of our games to support us, to sell out arenas and set records day after day, it was crazy. And I think this season we're just looking to do the same.
Keeping that momentum begins with these fresh threads. Sarah Levitt, CBC News, Montreal.
Yeah, sounds like a good stretch of weather ahead.
Don't mind that. What's it looking like? Some
Yeah.
spattering of rain today, though.
Yeah, a few showers today, but yeah, nothing too dramatic out there today. And we're going to be looking at a quieter stretch moving forward with lots of sun. And let's start first with our viewer picture of the day, as we always do at this time. We'll zoom in on, yes, Shelburne. And this picture was taken, I believe, over the weekend.
Aww.
Who's hungry?
Seal with a
Nice
mackerel.
snack.
Yeah, little snack going on there. Thanks to Nancy for this great shot.
It is great.
Yeah. Ryan's picks at cbc.ca. Keep them coming. The mailbox is always full, and I really appreciate everybody for sharing. Yeah, keep them coming. Now for the forecast for tomorrow in Shelburne, right around 18 to 19 degrees. Looks like a similar story in Yarmouth, and we'll see temperatures right around 20 to 21 for most of the province. The chance for showers will be primarily for Inverness County, but can't rule it out down into the Sydney and Richmond County areas, as well as Antigonish County. So just keep your umbrella handy in that area. Now for most of the province, though, it's looking like a fine day indeed. Sunshine across the board on Thursday. That is really looking like a nice day. West to southwest winds. We'll see temperatures ranging between around 19 to 23 degrees, as you can see there. And that area of high pressure is really going to be dominating even into Friday. There's the front moving out with the shower and thunderstorm chances moving out. There's the lingering chance of a shower in the northeast on Wednesday. Thursday, that high pressure area dominating. We'll see, yeah, a little bit of cloud kicking up on Friday, but another mainly sunny day. And then it's going to be that front there you see off to our north, moving towards that high on Friday night into Saturday. Now, the battle between those two will kind of play out over the region on Saturday with maybe an isolated shower chance, but overall a fine day. Sunday looks great, and the next 7 really do look great.
Like August, like you said.
Yeah.
Love this weather.
Well, it is the dawn of what could be a new era in spaceflight.
That's right.
Copy 1 Alpha.
Vehicles pitching downrange.
SpaceX successfully launched its Polaris Dawn mission this morning from NASA's Kennedy Space Center in Florida.
It's a multi-day mission to orbit that could prove historic in more ways than one, because we could see the first ever spacewalk by an all-civilian crew if everything goes off without a hitch.
Wow.
I don't think I'd.
I'd stay inside. You guys tell me what it was like.
And that's it for us tonight. Thanks so much for watching. We'll see you next time.
Good night.
Good night.